Is it really possible to stay pure in a culture that's saturated with sexual temptation? In this episode, we're diving into Jesus' teaching on lust from the Sermon on the Mount, and he doesn't pull any punches. It's not just about avoiding the wrong actions. It's about guarding the thoughts and desires of the heart. If you've ever wondered what real purity looks like in a world that's constantly pushing the limits, this conversation is for you. The topics discussed in this episode are a little on the sensitive side, so we wanted to give you that heads up. But here at the Pastor's Potluck Podcast, our goal is to encourage you and maybe in the process, entertain you. If you're ready, let's dig in. Welcome to another episode of the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. If you are watching this, we apologize because we look like hot garbage.
That's true. It's true.
We got some gravel delivered today and spent a couple hours this morning shoveling with a group of guys from the church. They came up and helped, and super grateful for them for coming and doing some back-breaking work and sweating with us, and
Yeah.
felt like I got my fair share of vitamin D for the week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I know a lot of people, they're always interested in like, so what do you all do all week? Because it always is different.
Yes.
I can't lead a lot of projects around here when it comes to like fixing stuff,
Yeah.
but I knew that gravel lot that I could handle that.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was like, I can order rock and spread out the thick parts to the places where it's not as thick. I can do that.
Yeah.
But then the guys from that delivered it did all the work for us essentially,
Yeah.
which was awesome. Like
Yeah.
the way they were able to just drop that load, like as they were just going through, and then we were able to take it where it was needed. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
So I can't do a lot of physical jobs that need to. I can provide labor. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that felt like something I was like, I can do that. So, yeah, I'm glad that we got it knocked out. I hope that it makes for a little bit smoother ride as you leave. It's one of those projects. I was just telling Aaliyah this. I was like, most people will probably not even know that we just dropped 50 tons of gravel into this lot. Because
Yeah.
they just drive on it, they leave, they don't think about it. We're up here all the time, so we see the potholes, we see how it's down to the bedrock and things like that. So it's one of those things that's like when you're taking care of a church, there's some stuff that's like really obvious. Like if we painted the lobby,
Yeah.
somebody would come in and go, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. But when you just throw gravel into a lot to fill in potholes, most people won't even notice it.
Yeah.
But it's the type of stuff that sometimes in ministry you get to write a sermon, and other times you got to pick up a shovel, go out in the sun with some guys and spread some stuff around. And
Yeah.
we cleaned out the courtyard too, which was we
Yeah.
had a ton of pallets
Yeah.
that we took out to the burn pile and threw some garbage away. And
Yeah,
it was
it's
a very productive Wednesday for the fact that I've not been in my office and got any of my work done.
Yeah.
But it's been a very productive Wednesday.
Yeah, I felt the same way actually just like several minutes ago. I was like, man, I feel like I've gotten a lot done and a lot accomplished, and I'm super grateful for being to help out. But it's just one of those aspects of the job that most people think that, you're in charge of all the music.
Yeah,
you must sit
just
around.
sing.
You just must sit around and play your guitar and sing all the time. I'm like, that's probably like 15, maybe 20% of my job. Like,
Yeah.
there's other things that pop up that you look at a church of our size with the amount of people that call this their home church, the size of this building. There's going to be some times to where I have to change out light bulbs, or I have to go look at a hot water tank or something like that. And I'm kind of grateful that I do have like a little bit of experience in that, because it does help break up like some of the...
You can do a lot of those jobs because you got a lot of that like manly knowledge that I don't have. The two things I'm good at when it comes to getting stuff done is finding people to do it and finding someone to pay for it.
I think that you're really good at like demolition though.
Oh,
too.
I can. We're going to tear that porch down.
Yeah.
And I want to be on that team.
Yeah.
I
sure.
can do that. Tell me something needs broken, I can do that.
Yeah.
But I can recruit volunteers and I can like find people to help pay for projects.
Yeah.
I'm fairly gifted in those areas, but I couldn't. I mean, I can change a light bulb. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I can change a light bulb, but like some of the other stuff, you fix sinks around here and hot water tanks, and you fix that exit light, which I don't know if that was just a light bulb, but
but you wouldn't even have known how to take the stupid thing apart.
I would have probably just called them and like, I assume this is broke. Let's just buy a new one.
Buy a new one. No. I saved us some money.
I don't know anything about stuff like that, so. That is, if you ever are wondering, like, what do these people do? Most weeks I get to sit in my office and study for sermons and meet with people that are new to the church or volunteers and lead the staff. And then other times, I pick up a shovel and go out and do whatever I can to make your ride in and out of our parking lot a little bit smoother, hopefully.
Yeah. And the good thing is, like, the crazy thing is that, like, you had a group of guys this morning that had a skill set and a strong enough back to kind of get out there and kind of see the trouble spots, and we're all collaborating together, which I'm super grateful for, because whenever people that have a specific talent or a skill set and they say, you know what, hey, I'm a really good electrician, this is what I do for a living, if there's any kind of electrical needs, like, just let me know. Like, I can help out. And we've had people that come up to...
There's two of those guys still at the church right now. They're still outside working.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that goes on around here that volunteers take care of.
I know, it's amazing.
That, like, we could never even begin to, like, the people that we don't pay anyone to mow the grass or do the weed eating up here.
Yeah.
These are volunteers. It's been volunteers for as long as I've been here.
Yeah.
It's been volunteers, or when we had a staff person that was a maintenance person, he would do it sometimes, but he's always had a team of people that would help him with stuff. The amount of, like, hours that people put in around here because they love this church and they love what God's doing here. Yeah. It's like my favorite thing about, I was thinking about this, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Not that I have no interest in going anywhere else, but I was thinking, like, if I ever ended up somewhere else, it would suck because I'd have to find those people all over again. Yes. I'd have to find out who are the people that, hey, when the sink is not working, who do I call? Like, and I was like, I would hate to go do that somewhere else. That would be so stressful, like, to find those people, because we have literally. Well, I was talking to a guy this morning on the phone. He was telling me that his mom could use some help around her house, and I said, dude, tell her to call me. I have people that would love to go and help someone do stuff around their house. Mm-hmm. We have people that would do that, and depending on the job, I would even help pay for that to get done to help someone out that's in need. Like, I said, and I was like, if I went somewhere else, I wouldn't know. I'm sure those people are at every church. That's how churches function. Yeah, is off the goodness of the people there and their willingness to help. But I was like, I would hate to have to try to rebuild those relationships to go like, hey, can you fix a toilet or something around here?
Yeah, we've had people come up and replace toilets that had quit working or maybe had major leak issues or something. Yeah. We've had people come up and do electrical work. And the crazy thing is that I've seen churches to where if anything goes wrong, they call a company. Yeah. And there's people that are so willing and eager to help out the church because they see the bigger picture of what we're trying to do, and they're going, you know what? I'm going to help them save some money because I see the mission and where their funds are going to, and I'm seeing the life change that is happening, and I want to do whatever it takes to help alleviate the financial stress on the maintenance side of things because I have a specialty to do that.
Yeah, there's just such cool stuff going on around here, and that's why people are wanting to be a part of it. I even found out, so we've had this partnership with Ecuador now since 2021, I believe, and we have another team down there right now as we are speaking. And yesterday, my sister, who's our kids pastor, said, hey, are you busy? I said, no. So she wanted to FaceTime me. She's showing me this building down in Ecuador that, like, Southern Church, like, we don't talk about it a whole lot. We're not out there trying to pat ourselves on the back. Like, when our campaign for the Future started, saying, hey, we're going to try to pay off the debt of our building so we can be more effective in our community. Yeah. Most people don't even know there was something that happened before that when me and Cheryl were down in Ecuador, I was sitting in this church in Los Chakras listening to this pastor tell us a story about how their church was in debt because they did not own the building that they were in. And in fact, it could be taken from them at any moment, but they had bought the piece of land next to them and they had paid someone $1,000 to come and level it out to get it ready for a church. It's the way they would have a place that could not be taken from them.
Yeah.
And they had gone into debt, $2,500 for that piece of land, as well as for it to be leveled out. And we were just having a time of worship in there after that guy shared this story. And I already knew, because in 2020 is when I got hired and I told them that we're going to have to take care of the debt of this facility. I just heard God whisper, like, if you'll help this church out in Ecuador, where you stand to gain absolutely nothing, I will help you with pay off the debt at your church. So I came back with that story, told our people. We paid their debt. It was $2,500, which doesn't sound like a lot to us whatsoever. Like, we paid that off like one Sunday. We told the church what was going on, and people gave like crazy to it. But where was I going with that? Hold on just a second. I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so we come back, we tell people about this. We pay that off, and now God has already helped us eliminate half of our debt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Here. I was going to say, yeah, they had $2,500 worth of debt, but I looked up, they had a little whiteboard on the wall. Their offering the week before was $4.
Yeah.
And the week before that, it was $7. So at that, like, how were they ever going to pay $2,500 in a church that's bringing in $4 a week?
Yeah.
Feels like $1,050,000 or $1,060,000, which is what we started with for a church that brings in what we bring in on a week. So it was like so cool because so Pastor Vicente wanted to FaceTime yesterday. I got to see those of you that are part of Southridge Church, like our partnership in Ecuador. We paid off that the debt for that church. The team that's down there right now is installing electrical and painting the interior of a permanent building on that land that we helped pay off.
Yeah.
Where there's now going to be a physical building for this church to meet in that they own, that people cannot take away from them, and a place that they can now start to attract people to become part of their church and see people saved. And
I just did the math. At that rate, just say an average of $5 a week, between the 4 and the 7, and just the generous $5 a week. That's like $200, around $200 a year. It had taken them 12 and a half years to pay off. And that's if they
didn't have any other expenses.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they still have electricity.
Yep.
They have a pastor that whenever we were down there in 2021, the way that the pastor was making a living was he had little crafts that he would drive around on his motorcycle and sell. That funded his way that he was able to go and to do ministry.
Yeah.
So like the work that's happening down there is like, when I saw the facility, I was like, I can't believe, because we were in some like little bamboo like hut type church that they didn't even own, and now they're going to have a facility that is all theirs.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Paid for, no debt. It's awesome. It's so cool. And they got to go down to the playground that we built in that community last year. Like, I hope more and more people catch on to this vision of what's happening down in Lost Chakras, because
I think we have like a really good mix of people. So we have like 4 people that have been on missions trip before, but 3 of them I think went last year. But we have a whole bunch of new people that went this year that have never actually even been on a missions trip before.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
And so like that type of, whenever you get 8 people saying, "Hey man, this is what's happening. This is all the stuff," and they're talking to their groups and the people that they meet with on a weekly basis, that type of energy is super easy to get caught up in and the excitement is contagious. It really is.
It is. Well, it's just think about that story. Like, as far as that church is concerned, they're going, I have no idea how we're ever going to pay $2,500 off. And God did it.
Yeah.
And we're already halfway through what we owe here, and then we'll be able to be even more generous to our community and to the community of Lost Chakras.
Yeah.
And God can do it. God's going to do it. Listen, I just talked to a friend of mine here in the Church of God. It's not my story to fully tell, but I'll tell you this much. There was a Church of God here in West Virginia that was going through a giving campaign. They owed $400,000 left, and they just had 2 individuals pay that thing off.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Like, God's doing it. God is
Yeah.
moving, man. It, like, by getting people financially free, so the way the church can be even more of a blessing to their community.
Yeah.
He's doing it in other places, and he's doing it here. He's doing it through the people of Southridge Church. Like, how
Yeah.
far we've already come. Like, by the end of this year, that number is most likely going to start with a 5. You know,
That's
the last
insane.
time that the mortgage of Southridge Church started with a 5?
Over a decade ago.
Oh, over like 2 decades ago.
That's insane.
In 2009. So, yeah, what is that? 16 years was when they added the additions that took it from about $500,000 up to over $1 million. So 2009 was the last time they saw a mortgage that started with the number 5. They're going to see that starting next year.
Yeah, the crazy thing is what people don't realize. If they think that the church is effective now with what we have, can you imagine what the effectiveness is going to be in our community, in Las Chakras, maybe in another Hope Zone? You know, like more like our effectiveness in our area of influence is going to continue to expand.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's just insane.
Don't worry, we'll get Cheryl and Jess probably on their own podcast, the way they can share their own experiences.
Yeah.
Whenever they get back, we'll pause whatever we're doing and let them share about. Maybe even see if we can bring some of the people from the trip on.
Oh, that'd be
We'll
fun.
do a couple potluck episodes with them, so the way y'all can hear about what's going on down there.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe catch a little vision to go with them next year.
Yeah, I'd
'Cause
love to do that.
The partnership is so cool because, like, we can do whatever we want down there.
Yeah.
So whatever we have a burden to do, we can go down that. Like, they can tell us what their needs are, and we can go meet their needs. And if they don't have any immediate needs, we can go, all right. Because the other thing that they're going to be doing a soccer camp while they're down there for the kids.
Yeah.
They took 150 soccer balls with them.
Yeah, and they're leaving them there.
Yeah, that almost got confiscated by
Really?
customs. Yeah. Oh, they put Cheryl through the ringer. I'll let her tell that story when she gets back. They put Cheryl through the ringer
Oh, that's
in
funny.
customs over these soccer balls. Yeah, so they're doing a soccer. It's like, it's whatever. We get to treat that community like our own community.
Yeah.
So we get to look at what the needs are and go, okay, yeah, we'll come and meet that need, just like we do here in South Charleston.
Yeah.
Whatever the need is, we're trying to come in. Like, we know the needs in the local schools, so we go in and do what we can there.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do in Las Chakras. So I'm so excited for those people. My father-in-law's on that trip, I think, for the second time. My sister is on that trip for the second time.
Cheryl's there.
Cheryl's there for the third or fourth time, something like that. My workout partner is down there on his first ever mission trip, which I'm so excited to hear him
I know.
talk about. I got to see him on FaceTime for a minute yesterday.
Oh,
They were doing work around the church. So I'm so excited for, again, God is moving in so many amazing ways at our church, in other churches, down in Ecuador. Like, I know sometimes people get so worried. They flip on Twitter or the news or whatever, and they're thinking, oh, man, the world. I wish you all could see and hear all the stuff that we get to see and hear, because,
Yeah.
it's not all roses and butterflies, but, man, give God a little bit more credit, because there is so much good stuff happening.
Yeah. It reminds me of a little bit of the story of Paul. He's he's in prison. He gets bit by a snake. He's going through all these trials, and he's just like, look, like, God's got it. He's taking care of me because he's asked me to do these things. And, like, I put my faith and trust in him.
100%.
And we're going to see it. So, I don't know how we're going to segue, but
Yeah, because we're into the weeds now. Yeah, we're going to the Sermon on the Mount. I'll segue it for us. We're going to go to the Sermon on the Mount. And last week we talked about the passage that said that Jesus kind of takes, what the law said on murder, and he takes it to a new level. He says, no, I don't want you to just pat yourself on the back because you came home at the end of a workday and didn't kill your coworkers. That's not really that impressive.
yeah.
He's like, what I want you to do is to not even get angry in your heart. I don't want you to even have hate in your heart. It's not the outward expression, it's the inward expression that God, or that Jesus is saying, this is what God was after all along.
Yeah.
And so he's going to do that again with this new passage. And the passage goes something like this. He said, you've heard it said, do not commit adultery. But I say unto you, if you've even looked at a woman with lust in your heart, you've already committed adultery with her.
Yeah.
And it's another one of these instances of Jesus going, listen, it's not really that impressive that you went all day without sleeping with someone that you're not married to.
Yeah.
I would imagine in 2025 that might seem like an impressive feat for people.
Yeah.
Because we're in such a, like, crazy place
Yep.
sexually as a culture in the West. But it's like, listen, it's not that impressive if you call yourself a person of the kingdom, a Christian. The fact that you don't sleep with people that you're not married to is not that impressive.
Yeah.
Although right now it probably would be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like the studies show only 3% of people that actually get married have saved themselves for marriage
Yeah.
anymore. It's
insane.
rare to find someone that's not already slept with somebody by the time that they are, or with multiple somebodies
Yeah.
by the time that they go to get married. And I was just, listen, this is how messed up the view on sexuality in our world is. I was just listening to a reel on Facebook. I think it was yesterday. It was a couple comedians or something, but they were talking about sex and virginity and this stuff. And both of them said that it would be a red flag to them to find someone in their 20s or 30s that had not already slept with somebody else, that they might not be interested in a romantic relationship with someone that had not already been sexually active with somebody else.
Yeah.
How freaking bizarre is that?
It's
Like-
it's bizarre that it's common talk.
It's like, what are you talking about? You all would red flag someone for their purity?
Yeah.
This is why when we call this thing upside down, that's why.
Yeah.
Because that's the normal thought on sex in the culture is, yeah, we kick the tires on the car before we buy it. That would be foolish not to. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is not God's design. And truthfully, and I'm not, like, we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff today. I'm not trying to drag anyone through the mud, but like more and more it becomes very obvious. If you would just do stuff God's way, it would save you from so much pain.
Yeah.
How many broken families?
Yep.
How many shared, like, kids are in shared custody
Yeah.
because two people didn't follow God's plan for how a family is meant to be put together.
Yeah.
And like, we're so mixed up sexually, and like right now we're in the middle of a month
Yeah.
that celebrates relationships that God says, no, that's not my plan for you.
Yeah.
It's not what I have for you.
Yeah.
Like, we're so mixed up sexually. And here's what the problem is. If this, the sexual revolution started in what, the 60s?
Yeah.
Here we are 60 years later.
Yeah.
Has it had the intended purposes?
No.
Are we better off now that we're just so free sexually?
No, I was telling
Not at all.
Erica this. I said, from all of my past, if I could change one thing, I said I wouldn't get rid of the addiction issues, the alcoholism, the drug abuse, or anything like that. If I could change one thing that I could, that would be erased from my past, and I would do it completely different, would be the fact that whenever I was younger, I had a huge lust problem.
Yep.
And I was very promiscuous with a lot of different partners, or whatever you want to label them as, because I wish that I could have given myself to her on our wedding night.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that she would say the same thing too, because there has been pain points, especially early on.
It is very painful. That's
Early on in our marriage, we had a lot of problems and issues because our expectations of what sex was supposed to be like and how it was supposed to go down, quote unquote, we thought that we were seasoned and this is supposed to happen this way, and it ruined it for a while. It really, really, really did.
That's
until we got to a point to where we were like super comfortable with each other. Because I think that you've mentioned this before, and it's a super vulnerable act.
Very vulnerable.
You get the version of me that has nothing on.
It's so weird that we would share something so intimate.
Yeah.
With people that we're not intimate with.
Yeah.
That's a very odd thing. And again, this whole sexual revolution, from where it started in the 60s to where it's at now, and yet we still decry how screwed up our world is.
Yeah.
So clearly freeing ourselves sexually was not it wasn't the answer.
Yeah.
It's not worked. And so here in this passage, Jesus, again, he's going, don't like this. Here's the standard. don't sleep with people that you're not married to.
Yeah.
But furthermore, he goes, it's not even just the outward act of sleeping with people that you're not married to that I'm trying to get rid of. He goes, all of that would stop if you would deal with the heart issue, which is a lust issue.
Yeah.
Which is a desire for that which is not yours.
Yeah.
That's what we don't understand when it comes to modern day sexuality. All of the pornography, all of the all sneaking a peeks and all of this stuff and multiple sexual partners, those are not yours to have. Those it's not.
Yeah.
And so Jesus is going, let me raise the standard. Let's deal with your heart, because if you would deal with your heart, the action would stop.
Yeah.
If you just try to I'm just not going to sleep with people I'm not married to, that's noble, but you're probably going to fail.
And
if you could change the root of the issue, the heart, then the action that flows out from it. That's why a lot of people with pornography addictions, they try to change the.
I was going to ask you this. I know where you're going.
Go ahead.
Because this is something that God has He's given me a little nugget, and it keeps on playing in my mind, and it pops up in conversation all the time. Us as individuals and as churchgoers and even pastors, sometimes we're so focused on behavior modification. And we're not allowing God to do heart transformation.
That's the difference between the gospel and religion.
Yeah.
Religion has only ever been focused. This is what Jesus has been talking about in the Sermon on the Mount. The Pharisees were like, do this, do this, do this, all on the outside, while their hearts, Jesus says in Matthew 23, they're whitewashed tombs. They're completely dead on the inside, even though there's a lot of piety on the outside.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's because the outside can never affect the inside, but the inside always affects the outside.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you have a porn addiction, or you're in a same-sex relationship, you're sleeping with someone that's not your husband or your wife, you're committing adultery, you're fornicating, whatever it is. I'm not going to sit here and single out one sexual sin. They're all sin.
Yeah.
But if you could figure out why you're doing that, rather than trying to stop what it is that you're doing, which I would say, please stop what you're doing. If you're a Christian, do everything in your power to stop what you're doing.
Yes.
But you'll never really ever kick it till you get to the heart of the issue and go, what is driving this? What is going on inside that needs my attention that would eventually fix how I see the opposite sex, fix how I see sex in general, fix the need within me of what am I searching for in pornography or in illicit relationships or in fornication or in cheating on my spouse? What am I trying to fix by those avenues? Those are all just the symptoms.
Yeah.
Something is deeply wrong internally when you're doing that. If you can give yourself to a different person every week, or every couple of months, every new relationship you have, you're sleeping with that person, there's something deeply flawed inside. And I don't say that as throwing shade at you. I'm saying there's something inside that needs healed, that Jesus offers healing for. And if that thing were healed, you might stop expressing the brokenness that you have inside in such damaging ways on the outside. Because listen, when you said, if I could take one thing back in my life, I agree. It would be, if I had not been introduced to sexually graphic things, language, material early on, I would be a different person right now at 100%. 38. Those things, whether you realize them or not, scar you in a way that makes it almost it feels sometimes almost impossible to shake free from year after year after year after year of all of what I was inundated with as a young person. That's what I was even having a conversation with my kids last night, and I was just talking to them about some stuff, and I was going listen, please come talk to me and mommy if people ever show you something that you know is not right, or if you ever hear someone talking about something that's good, please come talk, because I said, I don't want you all to do something now that's going to literally affect you the rest of your life.
Yep.
Because that's what happened to me. like being exposed to pornography and being active sexually from a young age still causes me I've been following Jesus for 15 years now.
Yeah.
It still causes me problems to this day. The level of brokenness that still needs to be healed within me because of that. I would take all of that back because when you're doing it in the moment, you don't realize how much it's scarring you.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that really opened my eyes to this, I did a series a couple years ago called Swipe Right, based on Levi Lusko's book, which if you have not read Levi Lusko's book, Swipe Right, you should go get it, or at the very least, go listen to him preach his series on it.
Yeah.
He's probably better than me, but I have a series on his book as well called Swipe Right. But he has a chapter in there about sharks. And he said that you can tell which sharks are females simply based on the scars that they all bear. Because the way that the sharks engage in sex is it's kind of like brutal, and so it actually leaves scars on the outside of the female from where the male is trying to attach himself. It's kind of difficult thing to do when you don't have arms and legs and all that sort of stuff. So they figure out a way.
You're in the water.
You're in the water. It's kind of but the female shark ends up scarred from, if I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah.
And he makes this parallel. He goes like, you don't realize sex outside of God's plan is leaving you scarred.
Yeah.
Like these people that are sleeping with every single guy or girl that they date.
Yeah.
Every time you do that, because if you remember the sermon I preached a couple of months ago, sex was meant to be the bonding agent in a relationship, in a covenant. When you take the bonding agent and you just start sticking the bonding agent on everybody in your life, you have to realize that whenever that relationship is over, there is a ripping and a tearing that is going on, whether you can see it or not.
Yeah.
And you do that enough times, and that's how you kind of get to a place where we're the most, what has the sexual revolution produced? General practitioners being the number one prescribers of anxiety and depression medication. Yeah. Of STDs, of abortions, of foster situations because people get pregnant, they don't want to have an abortion, but they don't want the kid. Like, look at what the sexual revolution has resulted in. It's not working.
It's gone completely against what God has orchestrated
it's
and
scarring
ordained.
So many people.
Yeah.
People are just walking around so scarred. And whether or not they've ever slept with someone else or not, if they've got a secret porn addiction, they are scarred. Mm-hmm. And Jesus, and again, this is why some people will look at the teachings of the Bible and go, "Oh, it's so antiquated. It's so outdated. We don't need that anymore. We should be free to express ourselves in whatever way." It's not working, man.
Yep.
How can you not see that it's not working? It's leading to so much pain, so much strife in so many ways. You got to see it's not working. And I again, it's hard to kind of put the toothpaste back in the tube once it's out. Yeah. But my goodness, guys, it's not working. And I know, like, if you go and look at the stats, people that cohabitate before marriage, more likely to divorce. Most sexually satisfied people on the face of the earth, people that do it God's way. Yeah. People in their 50s that are married and monogamous. Most sexually, because we've been told by the sexual revolution, especially this new modern version of the sexual revolution that has all these hookup apps and Tinder and all of this craziness. We've been told that that's the key to sexual fulfillment is multiple partners. And it goes, no. All the studies show that people that are monogamous with the same person for many, many, many years in the confines of a marriage, and the reason why the confines of a marriage, it means that they can't just walk out on you. Yeah. They can't just throw you to the side. They're not like those people are the most sexually satisfied people. So, Tinder lied to us. This hookup culture that we live in lied to us. It's not the answer. Yeah. The answer is find someone that you want to share your life with, make a covenant with them and God, and then spend the rest of your lives exploring this beautiful gift of sex that God has given you. Yeah. I gave that illustration in the sermon that I did on sex a couple of months ago. I was hearing this story in preparation. Someone said, "Oh man, monogamy just sounds miserable. Like, why would you want to do it with the same person over and over and over? He's like, it's like listening to the same record on repeat over and over and over and over. And the guy goes, no, it's not like that at all. It's not like listening to a record that never changes. He says it's more like playing an instrument. And every time you play it, you get better at playing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we have such a weird upside down view of what sex was meant to be that we've totally perverted it in so many ways, and it's caused so much pain, so much suffering, and we really can't even see it, and it's hard to, like, I preach, I know all kinds of pastors preach on the topic, but at the end of the day, who's really going to make the change? Who's going to say, no, we're not going to do this anymore? We're gonna do things God's way because we want to honor God with our lives, and we don't want to cause any more pain.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You had an interesting statistic in your sermon notes and said that 68% of Christians deal with some, and I'm sure that number has gone up in the 5 years that you've preached this. Maybe it could be up to 72%. But how should the church respond? Because there's obviously, I think that for the people that call Southridge Church their home church, we genuinely love each and every single one of those people. But there has to come a time to where, like, people have to be hit with some truth.
Yeah.
How should the church respond to this type of statistic and information that we may be given?
I've been on this all year long. It feels it's probably because of what we've been teaching here this year, but I've been on this all year long. And this one statement is, if you would just do things God's way.
Yeah.
I mean, it really in every area of your life.
Yeah.
I think what I'm experiencing is, as I get older and the longer I'm in ministry, the more people I'm doing ministry to and for, and the more people I'm doing life with outside of the church, I'm just realizing, and I wish I'd seen this as a young person, because I'd like to think it would have changed some stuff for me, that, man, to not do stuff God's way is unbelievably messy.
Oh, yeah.
And just, even not even, I'm not saying in, like, every time catastrophic ways, just, like, silly ways that life gets complicated. It's like, now that kid doesn't get to live with mom and dad. They only get to see their dad every 3 days, or they only get to see their mom, every other weekend. Like, they're just in real, like, man, it may not feel like it's costing you a lot in the moment, but, like, someone's paying a price for it. And it just comes down to, like, all right, here's this kid. They want to be involved in a sport. Who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
Oh, now mom and dad that are no longer together are going to sit there and fight over it.
Yeah.
It's caused so much brokenness.
Yeah.
Like, shipping kids back and forth between homes all the time. Parents that won't even talk to each other. How are they supposed to parent a kid together?
Yeah.
I just see all the messiness, and I go, if you would just do stuff God's way. And I know you can't go back. You can't. So, but I just see it. I see how our friends that are not living within God's will in their relationships, how they're paying the price for it in so many different ways and places. And I just keep coming back to this statement. I can't shake it. Like, if you would just do stuff God's way, it would hurt so much less. Your kids would be way less scarred if you would just do it God's way. And I don't say that from some sort of, like, religious pedestal, like I've got it all figured out, because I don't have it all together. I still struggle in all sorts of different areas, and I made tons of mistakes and didn't do stuff God's way, and that's what has led to the level of my brokenness. And I'm just trying to warn somebody, if anybody would just listen one time,
take this bit of wisdom.
Doing it God's way hurts way less.
Yeah.
It may hurt in the moment where you're sacrificing.
Yeah.
Where you're going, man, everyone else is out doing it this way or enjoying this or what. It may hurt in the moment where you feel like you're being left out of something or that you're missing out on something.
Yeah.
I promise you're going to hit a moment in your life where you look back and you go, like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
there was something really in the news probably 2 months ago. There was this lady in the UK who she's a porn star, and she slept with 1,000 guys in a day or in a weekend or something.
It was,
and it was like celebrated, and I'm going, there's a day coming, 10, 15, 20 years when she looks back, and
she's still dealing with I saw that article and they did a follow-up to it. She's still dealing with the physical damage from that. The
choices you're making right now, you're going to look back and go,
I need to grab something. Keep talking.
How silly, or honestly, not to be brash, but how stupid was it what I did? Like, when you look back and you think of all the times that you did stuff your way, how's it going for you? I mean, like every time that you sleep with someone that you're not married to, up until then you finally find that person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you carry all that other experience into that what you want now forever will be tainted by all the things that you did leading up to that. Yeah. Like, you carry that in with you. And I don't say this from a, like, how dare you? I hope that you feel bad for what. No. I hope you can hear it in my tone. Like, I'm genuinely hurting for people when they reach out and they go, here, I'm in this messy situation with my kid's, mom or my kid's dad, and my kids are hurting because of this or that. And I just go, well, I'm going to help you through it because I love you. But what I can see on hindsight is, if you all had never gotten into that situation in the first place, you'd done things God's way, we wouldn't be dealing with the problems that and that's not just true in sex and relationships. Yeah, it's the same thing with money. Your money problems. Yeah, if you just do things God's way, tithe, be generous, live within your means, don't go into debt, do things God's way, your finances will be better. Yeah. Do parenting God's way. It'll go better. Do everything God. The older you get, the more that you come to find out the Bible is not just true because it's the Bible. Like, it's not just like, oh, well, the Bible's true because God wrote it. It's like, listen, the Bible is true for so many reasons, but one, just go and try it out. Yeah. Go and live the way that it tells you to live and see if you're not living a better life. Yep. Oh, well, stop lying to people. Yeah. Stop treating people poorly. Stop lusting after people that you're not married to. Stop sleeping with people you're not married to. Stop looking at pornography. Stop being angry all the time and trying to fuss and fight. Be generous. Be kind. Be joyous. Who doesn't think that that's a life that sounds better than the life that most people are living right now? Yeah. Man, please, if I leave you with one thing, just to the best of your ability, do stuff God's way. It will save you so much pain.
Yeah, Jesus gave us a very, very, very practical next step in this. And I kind of want to just quickly discuss what it looks like through us in this day and age. He says to cut off whatever causes you sin. Yep. What does that look like for maybe an individual that's dealing with pornography issues and lust? Yep. How does someone get? I mean, they've gotten to the point now to where they say, I really want to get rid of this, and I cannot figure out how to do it. What are some practical next steps that they can take to set them up for success, to where they can begin to overcome this?
Yeah, the example Jesus gives is meant to be hyperbolic. Yes. It's meant to seem extreme. Yes. Because the point that he's making is extreme. That if you're serious about getting this out of your life, you're going to have to take drastic measures. When it comes to, in Financial Peace University, Dave Ramsey says you need to get gazelle-like intensity to get out of debt. Yeah. It's the same thing. If you are stuck in some sort of sexual sin, you have to have gazelle-like intensity to get out of it. Like, you got... We're not talking about subtle changes. Yeah. We're talking about, if you have a pornography addiction, and the place that you use that is your home computer, go home right now and grab that thing and throw it out of a window
Yep.
and never get another one.
Yep.
Well, what about this? How am I going to stay? Listen, are you serious about getting free? Throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Do you have issues with certain social media apps? Delete them off your phone.
Yep.
Delete them off your phone. Delete your account. Do whatever you have to do.
Yeah. And if you can't prevent yourself from re-downloading those apps, go to the phone store and get a flip phone.
Yep. If you can't be trusted with a smartphone, you get a dumb phone. If you want to be free from this stuff,
yeah,
it's not casual. The story that I liked, Levi Lusko again in Swipe Right tells this story, and I used it in one of the sermons. Was there's a story of Joseph in Genesis.
Yeah,
and he is the head servant in Potiphar, who's a very powerful Egyptian. He's the head servant in his home. One day, Potiphar's not home. Joseph's doing his head servant thing or whatever, and Potiphar's wife realizes that Joseph is a very handsome looking guy. She tries to come on to him, and what does he do? He takes off running. Yeah. That's what it looks like. If you are serious about getting free from this, you take off running. Wherever the temptation is, you take off running. Listen, if you're in a dating relationship right now, and every time the two of you all are alone, you end up with your clothes off, stop going to each other's homes by yourselves.
Yeah. Go
out on group dates. If you want, just be intense about this thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to casually fix this issue.
Yeah.
It is intense. It is like, I will chop off anything in my life that I have to get myself free of this.
Yeah, most of the time whenever people get diagnosed with cancer, there's medications and things that people can take that'll, maybe shrink it, but the only way to actually get rid of cancer is to cut it out.
Yeah.
You have to look at a pornography or a lust issue as cancer. It is absolutely detrimental to your relationships. It is detrimental to your relationship with Jesus.
Yes.
It is detrimental to your actual physical health.
The statistics on pornography use and mental health is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go to I think it's called the New Drug .org maybe or .com. If you want a bunch of really eye-opening stuff. It's not a Christian website. This is even the secular world is coming around to understanding the damage that pornography.
Yeah.
We are raising a generation right now, mainly of men, that cannot even have physical intimacy with a woman because they are so deeply damaged by pornography by the time they come of age that they cannot even perform in actual sexual situations because they are so damaged mentally from what they've been watching since they were 10, 11 years old. If you just went out, all of us are going, don't use heroin. We need to have the same stance when it comes to pornography. Listen, it is literally rendering a generation impotent.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how damaging this is.
Yeah.
How brutal this really is. And we have to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it's not the world that's doing this. The church is every bit as, statistics will show you, people within the church.
Yeah.
Regular pornography users.
Yep.
Pastors.
Yep.
Regular pornography users. It's rampant everywhere.
Yeah, you see a lot of the big name pastors and churches that have their falls from grace. About 95% of them are sexual sin.
Oh, it's money, sex, and power is what corrupts any person.
Yeah.
Those are the things that you have to guard against. That's why Jesus spent most of the time that he was teaching on money, sex, and power.
Yeah.
Because those are the three things that will befall humanity until we get a handle on it. And we have let the god of sex whip us for at least 60 years in the Western world. But, the god of sex has been pretty dominant throughout all of human history.
Yeah.
It's not making things better.
Yeah.
The more sexually free we are, the more broken we become as a society, not the freer we become. And so I really hope, if you'll do stuff God's way, and seriously, if you're serious about this, seek help, talk to somebody.
Yeah,
accountability
you need
is
accountability.
Good. Getting something on your phone that blocks things and somebody that can hold you, that's perfectly fine. Again, But it may even be better to just get rid of your phone.
Yeah.
It may be better to, accountability is good, but so is, hey, I don't even have a computer, so I can't even look at that anymore.
Yeah.
I got rid of Netflix, so I can't watch that anymore. Like whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Hey, I broke up with them because they wouldn't quit trying to get me to sleep with them.
Yep.
Period. Listen, if you're in a dating relationship right now and they are far more concerned with getting you into bed than they are getting you into church, go ahead and why don't you just go ahead and send a text message right now. This is your next step. We are finished.
Yeah.
That's it. And here's the deal. If they are taking you to church and then taking you to bed after church, send the same message.
Yep.
Boys and girls alike. Send the same message. We are finished.
Yep.
It will take something drastic if you want to get rid. This is the sort of sin. Paul says sexual sin is different than every other sort of sin.
Yeah.
So people are critical of the church that they're like, it sounds like you all treat sexual sin differently. It's because Paul tells us that it is different because it's not just any other sin. It's a sin against your own body.
Yeah.
Which is very serious because it's damaging you as much as it's damaging anybody else. So do something really radical if you want to get free from it. All right, let's hope for a fun question.
Yeah,
this has been kind of heavy.
We need a fun one.
I apologize for the heaviness. I'm very passionate because it's an area of struggle for me, and I also deal with the brokenness so much that it burdens me greatly.
Yeah.
Let's hope this is fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's food related.
Hey, I can do that.
Yeah. If you had to invent a new flavor of potato chip, what would it be?
I feel like Lay's has already done this.
Well, yeah, they got all their stuff like overseas.
Lay's is doing has tried everything.
Yeah, you can get like shrimp potato chips, like if you go to the Philippines or something.
My dad just gave me. It was like 3 weeks ago, or he gave Landon. I think it's Mr. B's. They have partnered with Tudor's Biscuit World, which is a local place here. It's not like nationwide.
Yeah.
And they had Tudor's Biscuit World biscuits and gravy flavored chips, Mr. B's. I think it was Mr. B's. There's something around here.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Did you try them?
I did. They weren't very good. I'll tell you, the Lay's biscuit and gravy ones were very good.
They have Lay's biscuit and gravy?
Yep. I don't know if they still. It was when they were coming out with all those weird flavors, like a different one every month or whatever. Yeah. Those were good. I don't really want to create any new chips, to be honest. I love chips. Well, I would have chips as a side dish for almost every meal if I could. Yeah. Because I like all the stuff that's already there.
Yeah.
I love barbecue. I love sour cream and onion. Yeah. I love cheddar
and sour cream.
Cheddar sour cream. I like.
But see, here's the thing.
I like I like regular chips with French onion dip. Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos. The purple Doritos are, I'll be on record, the best chip that's ever been made.
The sweet chili.
Yeah, best chip. Not just Dorito. Best chip that was ever made is the purple Dorito.
No.
Cheetos, the jalapeno Cheetos are absolute fire.
Dude,
I love.
I'm a Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips.
Get out,
bruh. Those are
Harvest Cheddar is fire though.
I don't like the blue Sun Chips.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
Oh, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Oh my gosh, I love. And now they're making everything Flamin' Hot. I don't want to add any new flavors. I just want some chips right now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I've got all the flavored chips that I want because I can't.
I don't want pancake chips or
no. Like they're starting to get. They're like shrimp cocktail.
They're getting weird.
I'm like
I like what we have. Yeah. I just want some chips right now.
If I had to change anything, it would be the consistency of Lay's chips. It's like eating like crispy paper. It's too thin.
I like it.
I like the Ruffles.
You know what I would change?
The texture of Ruffles, and I like the texture of Sun Chips.
I would change the Pringles can is what I would change if I could make one alteration to the chip industry, which, according to Greg Norman, Pringles are not considered a chip. They were actually not allowed to be labeled as a chip.
Why? What are they called?
I cannot remember. I think it's a flavored crisp or something. I don't know.
In British,
I know in the grocery game things are pretty cutthroat in that way. But I'm almost certain it was Pringles that he talked about on a Nate Land podcast one time. Yeah, that they were not allowed to call these things potato chips because the number one ingredient was not potatoes. Or maybe it was
like a rival company. They need a wide mouth can.
They need a bigger can. My hand cannot fit in there.
Yeah.
And do you really want me tipping that thing up where people can watch me? Seriously. Is it Mitch Hedberg had the greatest Pringles joke ever when he said it looks like Pringles on the day that they were supposed to start a tennis ball company got a load of potatoes instead. Said chop them up, put them in.
That is one of the best jokes.
I would change the Pringles can before I would start a new flavor.
I know but see, like the size and the shape of that can fits the chip perfectly. Like
it does, but I don't really buy Pringles mainly, maybe not because of that, but it's definitely a factor.
I'll tell you this much: I think I'm liking the crispy Lays that are like the Pringles.
Crispy Lays,
like it's like a Lays.
No, I don't mess with.
You
those.
haven't seen the Lays in a can?
I've seen them, but I don't mess with those.
They're better than Pringles.
I do. Those cheddar sour cream Ruffles are with the orange and the blue bag. Those are just unreal.
I know,
but. Hey, you know what I love? Olivia is big right now on hot fries. And
like Andy Caps?
Yes. Actually, I really like is it Chester that has some also?
Yeah, those are good too.
Oh, we are big on some hot fries right now. And she loves the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. She likes all the spicy chips, which I'm totally down with.
Yeah. So. You know, it's an underrated chip too. I don't know if it falls underneath that, but you used to get them as about a can like this size of the mystery meat jar, and it was just a plastic top, was the shoestring potato crisp.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
We used to get those all the time for like
my
our
grandma
lunches.
liked those. My grandma, I'm pretty sure my sister likes those.
I'm old.
I'm not a fan. I'll tell you one thing. They
need to do like some cheddar sour cream potato strings.
If they were flavored, I would have probably been more down with them. I'll tell you, I do have a rule, though. If you're ever in my car on a road trip, or I'm in the car with you on a road trip, you're not allowed to eat Funyuns. You're not allowed to eat Fritos, especially the flavored Fritos the
chili cheese,
the little curly.
Oh, the barbecue twist.
Yeah. If you're in the car with me and you eat those or Funyuns, I will throw you out of the car. Funyuns, and my kids like to eat Funyuns. Will make me puke on a road trip. To smell that, like, are you kidding me?
It doesn't even smell like real onion.
No, it smells like a bag of feet.
It smells like bunions.
Oh, it's do not
That's
bring
a good
Funyuns.
joke.
It is. Don't bring no Funyuns or Fritos around me. I'm not joking. I'll get mad about it.
I feel, okay, this is another issue, and this is totally off topic. I feel like I've hit you with some really good jokes, and you don't give it the time of day. Like it just rolls off, and I'm like, bro, I'm giving you some good.
This is what they do to Brian Bates on Nate Land. Is he has all these zingers, and everyone just goes, all right, on to the next thing.
I know. Yep.
You feel like Brian Bates?
I do. I've
got his number if you want to text him and y'all can commiserate together.
Dude, I should send him a clip of this at least.
Yeah. I know what you're feeling. Now, granted, y'all are getting 100, a couple 100,000 downloads a week, and we've got 12, but I get it, dude.
We're actually about to hit. So this is kind of like a cool stat. We're actually about to hit past the 5,000 total downloads.
Wow,
that's pretty good.
Hey, we're gonna break through one day.
Yeah, I know. We are. We're gonna continue to do it, but in like 180 episodes, so we're averaging.
I thought you were about to say in 180 years we'll finally get
no,
our
I haven't
big
done
break.
that math. Yeah, we'll break 100,000. No, but we average. Now this is just for like the listening through the Apple podcast or Spotify podcast or anything like that. This doesn't account for like YouTube and Facebook numbers. Facebook we go nuts on, but like for people to listen through their phones, it's like average of like 42 or 43 listens per episode. So,
well, thank you if you're one of those 42 or 43.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Share it with a friend. That'd be great.
Yeah. Share it with your friends, Mom. That's 2 plugs in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even think my mom listens to this.
It's all good.
She's like, I listen to you talk enough. Shut up.
For real. Yeah. I just want to say thank you for this conversation. I've enjoyed going through this Upside Down series, and I hope that all of y'all have as well. Yeah. And one of the things that we're trying to do at the end of every episode is give people practical next steps to help them out in their faith journey, whether that is just a simple thing to be able to pick up and do, or like today's conversation where it's you have to take drastic measures to get drastic results. But we are praying for you. Obviously, if it is something that you are struggling with and going through, like reach out to us. Like we'll I'll be an accountability partner. Like, it's not that big of a deal, because I know I've experienced both sides of what it looks like. I understand that how damaging pornography and lust can be, but I also understand the blessing that comes whenever you do it God's way. And I'm sure that you are in that same boat, Pastor. But,
Absolutely.
But we love you all. We thank you. We'll see you next Friday for another episode. Thank you so much for listening in with us today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. And you can also watch the video version of this on YouTube as well. All you have to do is search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. From all of us here, we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.